So we're still tracking developments in the commodities market. Okwemi Guntade, a senior investment officer with Financial Derivatives, joins me now as we continue the conversation. Good morning to you, Okwemi.
Good morning, Harriet.
So we're looking at a situation where oil prices are bouncing up and down, worse than a yo-yo. As of this morning, oil prices is down about 2.87% to $42.91 per barrel. It seems as if investors have just kind of priced it in to whatever it is that they're doing and moved on. The markets, investors, everybody basically.
Well, what we've seen in the oil market is that we've had this rebalancing, so to speak, rebalancing of the supply and demand side, even right before the Doha meeting, because we've had supply disruptions in Nigeria, we've had supply disruptions in Iraq. More recently, we have Kuwait having an oil strike because the government decided to cut down on wages and benefits to make up for the fall in oil price that is affecting their budget. And so what we've seen in the energy market is that even without the Doha meeting, we've had some level of rebalancing in the market. And that's why we're seeing oil prices coming down to $42 by just 2.81%, even despite the fact that the Doha meeting fell through and there was no agreement to freeze production.
But then, comments from Dr. Ibe Kachukwu that, they're still trying to negotiate and get the folks back to the table so that, this crude oil freeze production actually, gets started. Do you think that other producing countries, because already I know Iran is very tepid on it, Saudi Arabia, of course, is siding with Iran, but do you think that there's anything different that these folks might look at and say, okay, hey, why don't we go ahead with a production freeze?
Well, like you rightly said, Saudi Arabia and Iran are not, they were the major reasons why this deal didn't fall through. And if we're looking at other producers, we're looking at the likes of Russia, we're looking at the US, which was even the main reason why we're having the supply growth, did not participate in this negotiation process. But Venezuela, Kuwait, I mean, if Saudi Arabia and Iran aren't going to play ball, then why would other oil producers agree to freeze production? Because at the end of the day, it's all about the battle for market share. And if you're having two major producers saying they're going to keep it high, or rather they're not going to agree until when Iran specifically comes to the table to say, okay, we're going to agree to freeze production. And Iran has already made it clear that they're not going to freeze production until they get to their pre-sanction levels. Currently, as at March, their production level was 3.3 million barrels per day, and their pre-sanction level was about 4 million. So they're still like 700,000 barrels off. And so until when Iran reaches that level, then Saudi Arabia isn't going to agree, Iran isn't going to agree. Other oil producers, are they going to agree to freeze production and at the expense of losing market share to the likes of Saudi Arabia and Iran? Okay,
so talk to us a little bit more about what we just saw right now. That's the cost of producing a barrel of oil and gas. Okay, there we have it. Nigeria is still the third highest with $28.99 per barrel. And this is coming at a time when it seems as if the NNPC and some other oil majors are having issues with regards importing of oil, importing of cargoes, the pricing mechanism, and the rest of it. Just talk to us about it.
Well, what you're saying right there now, it's Nigeria obviously being the third. In the graph, you can see Nigeria is the third highest in terms of cost. And if you're looking at Nigerian market, for one, we have our pipeline vandalism, which has been affecting production. We have logistics. We have issues with infrastructure as well. So this is what's making Nigeria one of the most expensive. And then if you're looking down towards the table, the least expensive, you're looking at the likes of Saudi Arabia and Iran, which are the countries that are green that are not. They don't intend to freeze production. So which means really if oil prices go as low as then $28 all over again, they really have nothing to lose because their yield per barrel is still significantly high compared to Nigeria, which is about $28. Nigeria is even more expensive than the US shale producers if you look at the table there. So
yeah, US shale is at $23.35
about
per barrel.
Exactly. So at this point, Nigeria has more to lose if oil prices are coming down compared to this other oil producers. But on the bright side, what we're seeing is the US shale producers are reducing production at the Energy Information Agency is predicting that U.S. production is going to come down to 8.6 million barrels from 9.4 million barrels last year, and even go down further in 2017 to 8 million barrels. So on the bright side, I guess Nigeria should be smiling a little that, other non-OPEC producers are reducing production alongside themselves.
Okay, we're just like I'm trying not to smile. But thank you so much, Okwemi, for coming on the program this morning and shedding more light on that as well. Business Morning continues in just a moment. We'll be right back. Welcome back. So Rotimi Fakaijo, CEO, Enterprise Stockbrokers, joins me now as we take a look at what's going on at the market. So good morning to you, Rotimi.
Good morning, Harry.
So tell us, what's it like at the market? Yesterday, technical glitches, we hear, caused the market to only trade for 4 hours, and we saw a negative close of about 0.28%. So what's the mood at the market? Are we back on track?
Well, most unfortunately, we having a repeat of what happened yesterday again. The glitch that happened to the system yesterday was temporarily addressed. And I think right now they are putting in every effort to ensure that it's a long-lasting solution. So as I speak with you right now, the market gets set to pre-open. So we're still very much waiting for them to correct the situation. But I want to believe that by the time they do that, it's going to be a long-lasting solution. We won't have, at least if they put it right today, we will not likely have a recurrence of it again. So the market hasn't opened for today.
And there is no indication as to when the market will reopen. So what is the implication, the direct implication? Yesterday, only 4 hours of trade, but we saw heavy profit taking on most of the bellwethers listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. We also saw only 11 gainers as against 23 losers. Is that likely a situation that will play out again today?
Well, I think we know well with respect to what happened yesterday that there are consequences to this kind of occurrence. Like for instance, yesterday it was just a little above 500 million naira value of trade that was done. Then also when you look at the number of deals, it was just a little at about 1,500 deals compared to 4,000, 5,000 that we usually trade. Then also if you look at the number of securities traded, those ones also came at a very, very low level. So, so the market started yesterday. A lot of operators had already believed that nothing was going to be done. But eventually, they are able to use the disaster recovery platform for us to trade. So today, they are putting everything in place to ensure that at least things are done properly and that we have a long-lasting solution.
All right, so the market will be coming back on stream any time now, and investors have been digesting some of the results that came in from some of the stocks listed on the exchange. Let's talk a little bit about Zenith Bank. Yesterday, the bank sent in its first quarter results. Give us your impression about it.
Well, we saw, even as the market traded for just barely 1.5 hours yesterday, we still saw the reaction to that result. And looking at it with a 12% drop in gross earnings, I think for the first time, for a very long time, this is the first time that we're seeing a division in the gross earnings of Zenith Bank as one of the strong players in the market. And I think that caused a lot of concern. We have seen this from very strong Zenith. Then definitely what are we going to expect from the other ones that have less strength. So with also a depletion in a contraction in their profit after tax. That is from 27.6 to 26.5. I think that's also cause for concern. It actually shows the extent of the economic situation that we are passing through. And I think for me, I believe this kind of result is good in the sense that we are getting a true reflection of what is happening in the economy, and we are seeing it that the banks, some of the banks actually report what is right, just the way Zenith Bank has done in this case.
Well, Rotimi, let's try to see if we can fix the audio and get back to you to continue this conversation in just a moment. Rotimi Fakaijo is the CEO Enterprise Stockbrokers, giving us his perspectives on one of the results that came in yesterday from Zenith Bank. He was talking about the gross earnings. We saw a kind of flattish results from the group. Gross earnings coming in at 99.43 billion naira as against 113.32 billion naira that was recorded for the same period in 2015. Profit after tax, or profit before tax, came in at 32.12 billion naira from 33.12 billion naira recorded in 2015, the same period, and profit after tax of 26.57 billion naira recorded for the period. Also, we're going to get round to Unilever's result. We saw a revenue increase by from 14.910 billion naira recorded in 2015 to 16.78 for the first quarter of 2016. Profit before tax also rose to about 1.41 billion naira, while profit was put at 1.04 billion naira. And as Rotimi says, the market is still experiencing technical glitch. So as of now, the market is not open, but we will continue to monitor the situation and, of course, track those numbers for you. But yesterday, this is a continuation of what actually happened yesterday. There was a technical glitch as well. And so when the markets did come online, we saw it trade for only 4 hours, and investors booked profit of some of the market heavyweights listed on the exchange. And we saw the Osha index dropping about 0.28%. And Rotimi is thinking, just like I'm sure most capital market operators and traders, that might also happen today, as we're seeing the market is still closed. The Nigerian Stock Exchange is working on fixing the technical glitch and says that everything will revert back to normal as quickly as they can fix it. Well, that's it on today's edition of the program. Don't forget you can watch it on youtube.com/channelsweb, and also continue conversations online on Twitter, and you can also send us an email. So on Twitter, I'm at CTV Harriet. At BBosun, we'll be glad to mind your business as well. You can also tweet at BizMorning or at Channels TV. And as I already said, you can send your emails to businessmorning@channelstv.com. I'm Harriet Agbenyi. Thank you so much for being a part of today's show. Have a profitable day.